Hey, what's up you guys, it's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to go into the chapter 1 of the Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. There are 50 chapters in this book, so we are going to be in this book for a little while. So, I'm excited. Well, before we do chapter 1, actually, there's a little thing in the front of the book. It's like a little page thing. It says, "My Family Tree, Annabelle Price, 8th grade, 2/13/2020. Maria Price, Patrick Price, married and had Jefferson Price and Charlie Price. Jefferson Price married Sherry Price and had Carter Price." And then on her other side it says Edward Bowden and Susan Bowden got married and had Rachel Price. And Rachel Price married Charlie Price, and they had Annabelle. So, and then it says, it's a little, like an IMDb page of, their thing, The Disappearance of Rachel Price, True Crime Documentary, Filming 2024. Crew: Ramsey Lee, producer, director, James Myers, camera operator, Saba Equal, sound department, Ash Maddox, camera assistant. Chapter 1. "What do you think happened to your mother?" The word sounded wrong to Belle when he said it. Mother. Unnatural. Not quite as bad as Mom. That one pushed between her lips, misshapen and mad, like a bloated slug, finally breaking free. Splatting there on the floor for everyone to stare at, because everyone else always did. The word didn't belong in her mouth, so Belle didn't say it, not if she could help it. At least there was a coldness to Mother, a sense of distance. "It's okay, please take your time," Ramsey said. The vowel was clipped and exposed. Belle looked across at him, avoiding the camera. Lines of concern crisscrossed his black skin, pulling around his eyes as they fixed on Belle's, because she was already taking her time, too much. More than she had in the pre-interviews the past few days. He reached up to scratch his temple, right where his dark coiled hair faded out above his ears. Ramsey Lee, filmmaker, director from South London, a whole world away, and yet here he was in Gorham, New Hampshire, sitting across from her. Ramsey cleared his throat. Belle began, choking on that slug. "I don't know." Ramsey sat back, his chair creaking, and Belle knew from the flicker of disappointment in his face that she was doing a bad job. Worse. It must have been the camera. The camera changed things. The permanence of it. One day, thousands of people would watch this, separated from her only by the glass of their television screens. They would analyze every word she said, every pause she took, and have something to say about it. They'd study her face, her warm white skin, and the flush of her cheeks. Her sharp chin was sharpened more when she spoke, and especially when she smiled. Her short honey blonde hair, her round gray blue eyes. "Doesn't she look just like Rachel did?" they'd say. Those people beyond the television screen. Belle thought she looked more like her dad, actually. "Thanks, though." "Sorry," Belle added, pressing her eyelids together, bright orange patches where the 3 softbox lights glared at her. She just had to get through this documentary, pretend to not be hating every second. Talk about Rachel, then life could go back to normal, back to not talking about Rachel. Ramsey shook his head, a smile breaking through. "Don't worry," he said. "It's a difficult question." It wasn't, though. Not really. And the answer wasn't difficult either. Belle really didn't know what happened to her. No one did. That was the point of all of this. I think she was. Someone stumbled behind the camera, tripping on a cable that ripped out of the wall. One of the lights flickered and died, swaying on its rickety leg. A hand reached out to grab it before it fell, riding it. "Oh shit, sorry, Rams," the tripper said, chasing the loose wire back to the outlet. Now that the light was out, Belle could see him properly for the first time. Now she couldn't say she noticed him before, when Ramsey had introduced the crew, too dazzled by the lights and camera. He must have been the youngest of the 4 documentary crew members, couldn't be much older than her. And he was just maybe the most ridiculous person Belle had ever seen. He had shoulder-length brown hair that fell in thick curls pushed off to one side of his pale face, full of angles and shadows. He wore flared tartan pants and a bright purple sweater with little green and yellow dinosaurs marching across his chest. "Sorry," he said again. The O giving him away must be from London too, he grunted as he pushed the plug in and the light sparked back to life, hiding him from Belle. Thank God that ugly sweater was distracting. I told you to gaffer all the wires down, Ash, Ramsey said, shifting to glance behind the box light. I did, came Ash's voice from behind the light, somehow an angular just like his face, until the tape ran out. Mate, we have like 50,000 rolls upstairs, Ramsey replied. 50,001, said the woman standing behind the microphone, a long pole balanced on a tripod with a fluffy gray head hovering over Belle and Ramsey. Just above the shot, Saba, that was what Ramsey had called her, introducing her to the sound as a sound person. She was wearing a huge pair of headphones that dwarfed her face, pushing the brown skin of her cheeks into unnatural folds. Sorry, came Ash's voice. I'll fix it later. It's okay, Ramsey said, his face softening for a second. Then to the man behind the huge camera, James, why are you panning to Ash? Thought we were aiming for a cinema verte style for the doc that you might want this in. The camera operator replied, No, I don't want this in. Let's reset the shot and go for another take, and everyone watch where you're stepping this time. Ramsey flashed an apologetic smile at Belle, sitting there on a plush couch across from them all, the cushions artfully arranged and rearranged behind her. Ash is my brother-in-law, he said, as though in explanation. Known him since he was 11. It's his first job, isn't it, Ash? Camera assistant. Ash, camera assistant, Saba, sound person, James, camera operator, and Ramsey, filmmaker, producer, director. Must have been nice to have words like that to follow your name, words you chosen. Belle's were different. This is Annabelle, the daughter of Rachel Price. The last part said in a knowing whisper, because even though Rachel was gone, everything existed only in relation to her. Gorham wasn't its own place anymore. It was the town where Rachel Price had lived. Number 33 Milton Street wasn't Belle's home. It was the house Rachel Price had lived in. Belle's dad, Charlie Price, well, he was Rachel Price's husband, and even though the Price part had come from him, Ash the clapper, Ramsey reminded him. Oh, Ash emerged from behind the light, a black and white clapper board clasped between his hands. Printed on it were the words, The Disappearance of Rachel Price, the name of the documentary. Below that, a handwritten interview with Belle. And she was surprised, really, that it didn't just say Rachel Price's daughter. Ash walked in front of the camera, the hems of his pants swishing loudly together. Take 6, he said, bringing the clapper stick down to the slate with a sharp bang, hurrying out of the shot. Let's start again, Ramsey let out a long breath. They'd been here for hours already, and it was starting to show on his face. Your mom has now been missing for more than 16 years. In all that time, there has been no sign of her, no activity on her bank accounts, no communication with family, no body found despite extensive searches. Of course there have been sightings, he said, leaning in on the word too hard so it came out sideways. People on the internet who claim to have seen Rachel Price in Paris, Brazil, even a few months ago nearby in North Conway, but of course these are unsubstantiated claims. Your mom vanished without a trace on February 13th, 2008. What do you think happened to her? Belle couldn't say. I don't know again, otherwise she'd never be allowed to leave. I'm going to leave it off right there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.